Again, doing part 5 Aquaphobia. I don't have much to say, so let's get into it. Part 5, First Club. Adrian's eyes fluttered open, and she winced at the bright light. Her whole body ached, the shoulder burning from the pain. As she had expected, the pulse she and Logan had taken had in fact hurt. She sighed, stretching carefully and getting herself to the washroom, looking at herself with pure horror in the mirror. Her auburn curls were styled as if she was some freaky doll from a horror movie. Her mascara streaked down her cheeks, and her face pale. Desperately, she grabbed a makeup remover from her hygiene bag and began to remove the product, washing her face and applying the moisturizer. She then brushed her teeth and changed out of her party attire into black leggings and a baggy olive green hoodie, her hair styled up into a ponytail. Lastly, she pulled on her sunglasses. She was sensitive to light, especially in the morning after waking. But with the addition of a small headache from crying last night, it was a new pain she had to ease. She grabbed her crutches as she started out of her room, hanging Claire's black cocktail dress on the doorknob of her room. Then she headed downstairs, walking into the kitchen to greet Logan, who was sitting in the kitchen island sipping coffee. He looked up hearing someone come into the room and stifled a laugh upon seeing the comrade's appearance. Never thought I'd see you wearing something so common, he chuckled, and Adrian slapped his arm lightly. Shush, this is a common outfit for me. I really don't care much for tight-fitting party clothes. She rubbed her forehead, sitting in the seat opposite from Logan. Right, Logan laughed, taking a sip of his coffee. So, what are your plans for the weekend? Adrian sighed, leaning against the back of the chair as she visualized her calendar. On Monday, I start an intensive therapy schedule with Tom, and in 3 weeks, there's a reunion that I need to go to. It would be good to surprise my old teammate. I think that is all that I have planned, but I do know I have to meet up with everyone and hang out, she said, looking back at Logan. So, would you be free to hang out with Danielle and Aloy this evening? Logan asked, raising his eyebrows to emphasize the question. That would actually be really fun, she said, turning her head toward the stairs where she had heard someone come from. Late nights dreaming. Josie hummed, having the sleep out of her eyes as she sat by Logan, leaning into him as she closed her eyes, still obviously tired. The interaction made Adrian smile, seeing Logan smile, his eyes shining with pure love and adoration, as he lightly kissed his girlfriend's head. I have to get to work. Look after her for me, Adrian. Of course, the comforter chuckled, waving to the raven as he left the house. So, what are we going to do today? Without looking up from where the blonde had wrecked her head, she answered in a groggy tone. Video call with divers. Oh, yeah, right. Some nervousness rushed through Adrian. She was excited to talk with her old friends again, but the guilt of leaving them ate her up inside. Should we do that now, given that it is past noon? Adrian asked, a hint of shock in her tone. She didn't expect to have slept in so late. Yeah, that should work. Josie sat up, gesturing for Adrian to follow her to the sofa as she set up her phone, angled at the two of them. She entered their group chat and pressed the call button, turning on the face cam. Not even 3 seconds later, the call was joined by Sebastian, Eva, and Adrian? Eva squealed, causing the culprit to laugh as the girl looked as if she was ready to jump through the screen, muttering with desperation. And Michelle's been with you guys right now. I need to give you hugs, 7 years worth of hugs. Careful of me, the tree. Sebastian chuckled. Eugene missed, remembering how Logan had tapped her upward, the body and sore and aching. Don't worry, I don't think anything could be worse from how Logan reacted. Always Diva will be gentle. But what am I missing? Ava asked, the curious look. Looking directly into her camera and readjusting its lenses. When no one spoke up, Alloy did, fanning on and looking sleepily into the screens. Adrian is injured. What? Everyone winced from how loudly Ava had exclaimed. Oops. I mean, what on earth happened? Adrian smiled slightly, getting comfortable on the couch, and soon after, Jessie rested her head on the cupboard and injured shoulder lazily. I've been practicing a new dive lately. It involves a lot of twists, flips, starting on the board. Requires me to be at the very edge of the board, starting backwards. I was bouncing on the board, and I guess a mix of long practice hours and strenuous term drills. Prior to my dive practice, weakened my left ankle. As I turned on the last bounce, my left ankle gave it, and I fell backwards. But not before my arm bent up against the board, dislocating, and apparently turn walking has been challenging, but I'm fine. Wow. Sebastian cleared his throat after a moment of silence. You said it was just a small practice injury. Why didn't you tell us this? Adrian shrugged slightly. I don't know. It's just not that big of a deal. I've dealt with worse injuries before. Doesn't mean it doesn't hurt you or put you into a total depressing mood, Sebastian sighed. If you keep doing this, you'll end up in a much worse situation. It's your emergency contact. I don't want to get calls saying that you are in need of life or death surgery. Sydney calls a Boston. Eva asked flatly, and everyone looked at Adrian. Jessie clinging tighter to the shorter girl as if letting her go would make her disappear into light. Jane smiled faintly, a smile she had practiced for years, perfecting it. It was her signature smile, and it was her mask. Maddie's fine, he chuckled, trying to lighten up the atmosphere. And I don't know, I just don't think about what could hurt me. How did you been? I continued to press it, and that call and touch seemed to make everyone uncomfortable. Well, Ally whispered warningly. Adrian swallowed hard, forcing another smile. I saw him yesterday, and it but you going to keep lying to us like that? Ava asked, and Adrian's smile dropped. The girl nodded, seemingly pleased with the reaction. Good. Now, tell us what's wrong because you're obviously on time. There it was. Familiar feelings stinging in her eyes and queasiness in her stomach. She didn't trust her voice, so she just nodded slowly. Gathering my thoughts. I saw him yesterday, and it sucked. Being quite honest, she sighed, exhaling the rest of it there until she felt lightheaded and remembered to breathe again. Come on, guys, let's just drop the topic. Lucy spoke up, squeezing Adrian's hand tighter to reassure the culprit that she wasn't alone. I was really thankful for that, and per her request, the subject was dropped. Jane knew that Ava meant no harm. After all, Ava was the only one who could properly separate their Adrian's past, and had the guts to actually call her out. Why she was the mother, always looking out for what's best for her, quote-unquote, children. Sorry, I just feel weird about yesterday's interaction with Oliver. Adrian sighed, gaining quite a few understandings from her friend. They knew how hard it would be for her to meet Jordan again. In fact, Adrian was pretty sure they knew more about the situation than she did, which was a rather fair assumption. The day continued on, and sometime during the cold, Josie fell asleep on the transom. A night worth of partying and streaming had finally caught up to the introverted blonde, and she was now snuggled up peacefully against her pillow table. So much was discussed during the call. Adrian was shocked to see just how much everyone had changed. She knew about Sebastian, as she saw him quite recently, and talked on and on about how much he loved his darling Dales and how proud he was of her overcoming mental growth. The moment of nostalgia, Adrian could remember when she had befriended with Sebastian and then met at a youth training camp during her second year of high school. Rania and Adrian had similar personality profiles: quiet, serious, stoic, and observant. Needless to say, they got along fine, but as Adrian tended to be drawn to people who pushed her to be bubbly, she and Sebastian immediately hit it off. Sebastian and them actually hated each other's guts and were rivals, always trying to one-up each other, but unlike everyone else, Adrian could see it. She recognized Rania's germophobia and how people steered clear of her. But Sebastian didn't. He remained respectful of her space and kept everything clean, but he didn't avoid the ace swimmer, which was why their relationship quickly turned to something more. Now, Rania was able to touch and acknowledge Sebastian comfortably. The male smell was priceless in Adrian's eyes. But other people weren't so expected. For example, Ellie mentioned that he and Daniel were thinking of having a baby, which would require the female to take a break from the team indefinitely. This surprised Adrian because she had never thought Danielle was the person to enjoy kids. I mean, as a senior in high school, she had such big goals and dreams, and she achieved all while Ally was by herself. Finance and medical school, and passed with flying colors, now working as a well-liked pediatrician. Daniel was the probably most energetic person in the relationship, as Ally was back, intelligent, and calm. It's the definition of the perfect housewife, oddly enough. Then it was Lisa's turn to share. She had finally gotten together with their best friend, Matthias Kusta, now Lola, and they had gotten married 2 years ago. They have a 6-month-old daughter named Macy, and they are quite stable. Leo works as a private investigator, and Eva works as a teacher for a senior private school. She had just finished her master's last year. Mathea is a chief director in his department. Adrian remained quiet as they all continued to talk, and then Eva mentioned Clarence and although of course, Simon is planning on proposing that he's part of the French national team. Gabrielle live together when they are both in France, so what's one more step? The news still shocked the couple as she realized she had quite literally blocked out everyone's lives from her own. And don't get me started on Arthur, someone had commented, but abruptly stopped when he realized that Adrian was also a part of the school. She raised an eyebrow, somewhat intrigued by what the man was about to say. And what about him? Despite having broke up with the guy, she liked talking about him, remembering the good time. Nothing. Just from what I've heard from Danny, it seems so easy on them with their workout skills. Alloy finished his thought. Sebastian raised his eyebrows and his mouth made an O shape as if to mirror his agreement. Yeah, Connor is in such a mood. I mean, whenever he's ticked off about something, he takes it out on us because somehow he thinks cupping his exercise means he cannot us. Sebastian pouted, making Adrian laugh. He sounded just like a little kid. She recognized the behavior they were talking about. Adrian might have been captain of her team, but Arthur had always been the serious one, the person who could enforce rules and keep everyone on track. Adrian knew how much Arthur enjoyed coming up with a practice schedule, so oftentimes they worked on them together, and they trained every morning as well. Whenever Arthur was angry, he upped that exercise. When he felt happy, they jogged slower or spent longer on their stretches. Long story short, Adrian could only imagine what sort of force the national team has to reckon with. especially now that Arthur was angry about Adrian being in class. Yeah, Adrian smiled at the coffee table in front of her. Arthur and I used to train together. You had a bit of a jealous streak. Like, if I caught on morning jogs, my legs would be broken the next day from how intensive our work it was, and you'd come out fine. Just as if running 10 miles in less than 19 minutes was the normal thing for him. And then when he was trying to figure out who I liked back in high school, I swear our running schedule could go from boot camp exercise to a brisk walk in a matter of minutes. Adrian giggled at the fun memory. I quickly realized how quiet everything was. I found all of her friends, minus Josie, looking at her adoringly, which made her embarrassed. Hey, you never did tell us how you and Arthur became a thing. Just knowing you two had your relationship for at least a year. Aloy asked. Oh yeah, Ava piped in. How did you two get together? Adrian smiled at her hands, feeling a warm sensation flush her cheeks and a smile paint her lips. Well, the alarm rang, my eyes immediately darting to the small digital scoreboard. I was cold and exhausted from how many events I was participating in. The adrenaline making my heart pound and my legs shake. Despite my perfect score, I frowned because someone was missing. I knew it. Past 3 weeks, my best friend had been avoiding me. Stopped meeting me outside my house to go on our daily 5 a.m. jogs. Doesn't eat with me at lunch anymore. He definitely has kept his distance at practice. However, it's been a big day for me. Since the last match I would play in to qualify our school for the regional national competitions. And yet, Arthur wasn't here. Today was also a horrible day. First, I woke up and was totally upset that my house is cold and empty. That's absence from my best friend. I hated waking up in my empty apartment. I could be lonely at times. Second, the complex shut down the power, so I spent the morning trying to salvage the rest of the food I had. I was missing breakfast as I then had to rush to my work shift, where I dealt with snotty customers who either hit on me repetitively or blew up on me, not doing their thing first. School is fun by premium then, so I could listen to music without going through 3 minutes in bed every 5 minutes. And don't get me started on my teacher. She loves to challenge me by calling me out in class and see if I really know my stuff. But I was out of today, embarrassing myself and promptly excusing myself to the restroom. At lunch, people kept trampling over me or pushing me around as if I ceased to exist, which made me trip down the steps, smash a big phone, and straining my ankle in the process. I skipped lunch and had a pre-game snack, but I could feel my knee losing circulation. I saw 3 more events that the rest of my teammates don't step up, and still, Arthur wasn't here. My only support to cheerleader wasn't here to cheer me on. Good appetit. This is your last event, Coach shouted at me. I nodded my head in agreement. It was the 500-meter freestyle event. I'd give it to my own like usual. I got to my lane and noticed how poorly I was walking, my knee bright red and a sickeningly dark shade of purple. Got nervous looks when the timer and my coach, but brushed it off. They should have told me. As soon as I bent down on the podium, they moved back so that all my weight was on my back leg. Leg gave out. The alarm went off and I fell into the floor like everyone else. Unlike everyone else, I sank to the bottom of the 12-meter deep pool, unable to kick my legs as pain radiates through my body, pressure building in my lungs. I stopped moving and positioned myself into a pencil position, allowing myself to skyrocket up. I gasped and struggled to pull myself up out of the pool, getting yelled at by my coach, teammates, and the coordinator. But all stopped as I stopped silently, hugging my bloodshot red knee to my chest, my bruised ankle cradled by my hands. No one said anything as the medic rushed to me and bandaged my knee and ankle. Have your parents take you to the ER after this? You need proper medical treatment. She smelled before rushing me, and that made me upset. What parents? The lesson we tested as my team finished, struggling to get home. I cried all the way there, but when I opened my door, I saw the only person on the floor. I crumbled to the ground, still not being seen in the parents' baggy gray joggers, a long wet hair slides with curled. I felt the ground sobbing, and he was there to scoop me up into his arms, rubbing my back and saying small reassurance. Where have you been? I cried, banging my shifty fist on his chest. Is it because you knew the answer? No, he came. It's not really such a bad thing. I tried pushing him away, but he held me tightly. Yeah, it was because of that. He admitted. I felt like coming up into a bone vanishing from within. But no, not a bad thing. And why? Why do you need to believe that you're human? To be that support me. Tell me what was wrong. Sobbed, feeling sorry against his chest. Suddenly did it clear my head. But I didn't realize it enough. This is a big deal. To me, this is a big deal. Arthur murmured. What? I smiled. You get asked that all the time. Why would this matter? My goodness, you are oblivious. Elizabeth, I like you, dummy. This past year I had like to stay with kids. And I shouldn't turn into a romantic mode. Get the picture. Sighed, and I stopped crying. I needed time to think things over. I mean, the past year I've been trying to use feelings, but I never thought you'd like me like that. Why you like me? Why have you never told me? I paused, preparing myself to say, I know I have goals. I don't want to break them. And you said we will break up. Others, voice soft as he spoke. I'm always going to choose my goals, Arthur. I want to build my life on my own. Say I did something, I replied. I forgot the meaning of his words. I looked into his eyes. Let me be a part of it. Please. Stop. And then the last time I considered my goals, my senior year of high school. Oh, that's cute. Ava cooed. Bastion sighed, looking at Adrian blindly. Sometime during the conversation, Logan had him come back home, greeting the diapers and his usual mischievous persona. But as soon as his eyes landed on his sleeping girlfriend, Mal adoring ignored her, carefully picking her up and taking her back upstairs to put her in her bed. Adrian knew how much Lucy meant to Logan, but she never would have thought to seem so careful and loving toward her with that. It was by far the sweetest thing she had ever seen. Well, I have to get going. Alice stretched, glancing most likely at a little behind his monitor. Daddy says he will be there in 15 days. We all forgot to send an imagery from cards. Adrian nodded, smiling lightly at the mouth there of the camera. Okay, bye. See you soon. She waved. Soon, it was just Sebastian and Ava left in the car. We have to get going surgery. Granny says she wants to cuddle, and who am I to deny her? Laughed, trying to look tough but failing miserably. This is a soft tool for Remy and in general. And physical contact doesn't much. It's much funniest, but she's still trying to get Sebastian as much as the cuddles and small touches to show him that she gets him respect. Sebastian gives her full space and uses his words to show her from the beginning. That's her love language. What is that start? Being a Jamaica, she doesn't want just anyone touch her. They're finding for both parents session to get comfortable with each other, and now Adrian wasn't sure when was it clean that was guys went to with each other. And it was honestly just fun bestie. Adrian's uncle. promising Mel that she will see him again soon. No, it was just the best. I suppose I should go too, unless you have any. Do you still love him? Adrian stopped, surprised by the question. She had thought that I'd back to question with agency for the past 4.5 years. She never thought the answer. Houston? She asked, was quiet, but audible. Name was on fire. If that clarified, and Adrian looked at her hands, and she herself didn't know how to answer. And nodded, as if people know silence is enough of an answer. Well, Andrew's definitely wasn't legal. I'll do it. Bye. Regain of that was part of Aquaphobia. And I know this women they want to come. So I will see you all later. Bye.